So my PhD is looking at the social media use of artists, and today I'm going to raise some points about social media method which have come up in my research so far. I'm in my second year, and I'm going to raise some points which I think are important to consider for any research involving social media. So my arguments are, we need more empiricism in research about social media. There isn't enough of it, and I'll demonstrate this using my PhD as an example of an empirical approach to social media which has brought new insights into the nature of contemporary cultural production, and also the power of the platform, the power that social media owners have over its users, and how we do social media research. And in my area of media and cultural research, most research using social media and about social media often involves large-scale quantitative studies dealing with what is often called big data. And these methods include collecting thousands of tweets around hashtags, or gathering information on millions of users to map where they are and who they are connected to. And this is fine if you want to find out about sentiment or opinion around a topic or event, and also for mapping networks. But these methods are not useful for telling us about what people actually do with social media and the role it plays in their lives. What do these graphs actually say? Not much really, but this is not to discount the value of large-scale research on social media, because it does provide interesting insights, especially with regards to reactions around events and political issues and so on. However, studies like this don't tell us what people do before and after they post something on Facebook, how much time they spend looking at Instagram, how Twitter fits in with their daily lives, why they take selfies all the time, why now there needs to be a guide on how to take a selfie without accidentally shooting yourself or falling in front of a train. And this illustrates that it's not only about what people post on social media, but we need to know more about what goes on around it. There's still so much we don't know about social media. And there is an increasing amount of qualitative work done on social media. Alice Marwick's status update is a useful text for exploring a wide array of issues around social media and self-branding in contemporary work. And she did a case study in Silicon Valley involving interviews, participant observation and online ethnography. Here in the UK, there's some great work by the Visual Social Media Lab based at the University of Sheffield, and they're developing methods for researching social media images, again combining interviews with a close analysis of social media posts. And in my PhD, I'm utilising ethnographic approaches for looking at artists' use of social media. I want to find out how social media fits into artists' lives and their practice. And for addressing this, I'm carrying out interviews with artists. And so far I've been asking them about their careers, how they use social media, what they think of it, its benefits, disadvantages, and so on. And already I've picked up some prominent themes, such as during downtime. And my curiosity with this research is whether social media adds extra pressure to the work of artists and blurring between personal and professional life. And for the artists that I've spoken to, social media use is weaved in with their everyday routines. For example, they look at it while they're having a coffee, waiting for a bus, waiting for their work to upload, and so on. The second is the need for presence. And this is becoming crucial in cultural work. One artist actually said to me on Monday, if you're not online, you're not anywhere. And there's some pressure with this, and time is also a factor. The third is inspiration, and this includes connecting with other artists, sharing ideas, looking at Pinterest and Instagram for inspiration, looking out for events, and all of these form part of their creative practice. And finally, listening, which is basically the time they spend looking at social media and not posting, and you can't find this out unless you ask people. And I prefer to use the term listening rather than lurking, which is it has quite negative connotations. So listening, according to Kate Crawford, invokes the more dynamic process of online attention. And I wouldn't have had any of these insights if I didn't do interviews. The second part of my PhD is a shameless plug here for my postdoc, which is over there. And it's looking at artists' performance of expertise on social media. And it's another example of a qualitative approach to social media research, where I'm doing a close analysis of social media posts using a framework of signalling expertise that I've adapted. And if needed, I may also do other forms of online ethnography by, for example, looking at relevant art hashtags and networks. And now to my final argument, which is that social media mediates. In research involving social media, its intrinsic qualities, the temporal and structural features, need to be taken into account. And by this I mean, for example, scrolling timeline formats to make us scan posts rather than really digest them, and the 140 character limits on Twitter, Facebook's boxes to fill out your profile, its status prompts to post what's on your mind, and so on. When researching social media, what also needs to be remembered is what's behind the platform, the corporations and owners behind Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the power that they have over the structure of the platforms and the information generated by users. Ultimately, these platforms are designed to harvest your information to make money. Skeggs and Newell argue that platforms and the algorithms that run them are ideological. They're structured in certain ways and they can be changed by developers at any time to continue to serve the interests of owners and corporations. And in my interviews, quite a few participants have told me about the problems that they have with Facebook algorithms making it difficult for their followers to see their updates because Facebook ultimately want them to pay for advertising. And it's hearing things like these which has brought to light the power of the platform, and I argue that platforms and the corporations behind them also need to be considered in social media research. That's it, thank you.